Good morning, everyone. What's up? I just wanted to give my take real quick about the release of the Mueller Report. It's now out in the public view, and I have a link in the description for everyone to look through the Mueller Report. I think it's like, if I remember correctly, it's like 448 pages, something like that. It's around 400 pages, but it's out, and it really doesn't show anything new. It just goes over things that a lot of us have already seen in the news. Robert Mueller has already concluded that he couldn't find any evidence of collusion, and this is after 2 years of investigations and somewhere in the neighborhood of like 25 to 35 million dollars. I've heard a variety of figures. I've heard 25, 30, 35, but it's definitely between 25 to 35 million dollars that was spent on investigations, and then finding the collusion, and it's at a point to where it's crashed and burned. I mean, there's nothing there. So we have collusion. I mean, it's more or less a done deal at this point. Of course, like hearings and things like that are going to continue. Pretty soon. I can't remember exactly what date it was. It's sometime around the beginning to the middle of May or something like that, roughly. Attorney General Barr is going to testify. Not testify. It's going to be a hearing before Congress. And right now, the Democrats are looking for also Mueller to testify as well. So yeah, the whole thing isn't finished. They're going to keep doing these investigations, and they're going to look for something, anything, even if it's the smallest inconsequential thing. They're going to try to extrapolate it into something big, because this is all these people want to do. They just want to get Trump. They have nothing. They didn't have anything from the beginning. Even Van Jones himself said the whole Russian thing was a nothing burger. I mean, I don't understand. Well, I do understand what these people are trying to do. It's all about trying to control this country. And they're trying to do a number of different things to do it. They're trying to push this this false narrative. They're using things like telling lies about what's going on at the border. I mean, first they were like, well, illegals are going to strengthen our economy. They're going to make the country better. And now they're saying, well, Trump can't dump them here. Well, you can take these illegals that are going to strengthen the country everywhere else. You can basically dump them in these other areas where everyone else has to deal with them, but we're not going to deal with them over here in our places. And for you to have them brought over here, you're just dumping and trying to harm your political enemies. I mean, everybody can see through the nonsense of these people. I mean, for crying out loud, if you couldn't come up with anything against Trump for 2 years, over 2 years, like roughly 2.5 years, and you're still trying to stick by this no matter what, it's a psychosis. That's what it really is. It's a psychosis when it comes down to. And they want to say that Trump derangement syndrome isn't real. I see it all the time, and the evidence continues to stack up. That Trump derangement syndrome is truly real. I mean, for crying out loud, Robert Mueller had virtually his whole team stacked with Democrats, from top to bottom, just people on the left. And they also want to ask this question about, well, although the report says there's no collusion, it doesn't exonerate Trump either. But here's my take on that. The issue about exoneration is irrelevant to me. Whether it exonerates him or not is an irrelevant question to me, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is because the claim was originally made that Trump colluded with the Russians to influence the 2016 presidential elections in his favor. So that's the pertinent question here. Does the evidence stack up to justify that claim? And the burden of proof was on the people who are making that claim, and they didn't sufficiently make their case. I mean, for crying out loud, when you have Robert Mueller's team stacked with leftists, you have 3,000 subpoenas roughly, 500 people interviewed, millions and millions of pages turned over by the Trump administration. Trump could have fired Mueller anytime he wanted to. He could have impeded the investigation, not just impeded it, he could just killed it just anytime he wanted to. I mean, these sorts of actions aren't done by someone who has something to hide, okay? He went over and beyond, beyond the pale. He just went above and beyond what he needed to do. So look, I ain't do nothing, man. I ain't do nothing. I wasn't involved in anything. And the bottom line is, they just need to stop this whole thing, but they're not going to stop because a lot of people's reputations and careers and legacies, they staked on this Russia false narrative. They staked on this, and they went all in, and they long past the point of no return. So they're going to keep up these crazy investigations. You think the first 2 years was bad, folks? I think the next 2 years are going to be a lot worse than that. I mean, when you go so far to the point of mass hysteria that you just hit that huge level of cognitive dissonance to where you just can't come back from it. I have a level of sympathy that I extend out to you, and I just feel sorry that you're just so obsessed with one thing and trying to take down one guy that you just can't be like, you know what, my bad, he didn't do anything, or, well, and at least the evidence doesn't show that he did anything, because, I mean, it's always possible somebody did anything, but the bottom line is, does the evidence support it? And it simply does not. Okay. Anything that people found, like when you talk about people like, for instance, Paul Manafort, I mean, that whole thing had nothing to do with collusion. I think it has something to do with like business deals or whatever was going on, but it wasn't related to collusion. Anything that was connected with something like Paul Manafort, or when BuzzFeed told that lie that Trump directed Michael Cohen to perjure himself. I mean, when Michael Cohen ended up going to jail, he's going to be going to, I think he's going to be going to prison, or he already went to prison. None of that was related whatsoever to any type of collusion. Unrelated stuff. I can't remember who said it in the news, but I think it was Trump's lawyer or someone else. I can't remember who it was, but if they really had a case of collusion, they simply would have made it. I mean, you don't have a case stacked full of leftists and you come up with nothing. I mean, they would have came up with something. In fact, it wouldn't have even taken 2 years. It wouldn't have even taken 2 years. They would have came up with something like yesterday times 612 days ago. They would have came up with something yesterday. It would have taken them 2 years to come up with nothing, and they're scraping at the bottom of the barrel. In fact, it's so bad that there's no bottom barrel to even scrape at this point. They're just reaching for stuff out of thin air, and it's really just amazing, just the psychosis these people, how delusional these people are. But the bottom line is this: there was a claim that was made, and there was Russian collusion. They have to make that case, and they didn't. They massively failed, and this crap has really, really divided Americans, and they're not going to apologize for it because this is how sick these people are. This is what these people do. They don't care. And, what goes around comes around. So I believe a lot of these people, if they don't pay for it with their, with any actual indictments or any jail time or prison time or anything like that, then they're for sure going to pay for it in the 2020 elections. A lot of these people are going to be gone. Mark my words. So those are my quick thoughts on the collusion. Just brace yourself, my friends, for more craziness around the corner. It's if you think this mess was crazy, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. So that's it for this video, my friends. Please check out my blog in the link below. Look forward to more videos coming around the corner. So take care. God bless. Peace.